Hello everyone, and welcome to this Age of Alchemy video where we are going to be looking at the different fighter types that make up fighting groups. Today we are starting with the first model that appears on the list of fighter types, and that is one of my personal favourites, which is the... here it is... Favoured Pet, who comes in a grey form and, in this case, a brown form. Now, the Favoured Pet is one of the 5 models around which the original game was sort of based upon and then expanded upon. The reason for this, personally, is I really like dogs. Huge fan of dogs. If I see one in the street, I will run up to it, say hello. If the owner lets me, I will pet it. They're not the strongest models. I mean, they come in quite cheap at about 7 points. They already have a weapon with them, so that 7 points gets you the model, and that's it. But as you can see, I'm going to bring their stats up on screen. They're definitely not the strongest. You're looking at a sort of an average combat skill, a lack of shooting skill, because, well, it'd be difficult to train a dog to use a bow or crossbow for more than one shot, certainly. Even a pistol, yeah, it would be an interesting thing to see them actually try and use anything that needs a shoot skill. In case of damage, they are damage 2. They come with a basic weapon, so they'll be staying at that damage 2. Think of them as just the equivalent of anyone else carrying around a dagger. Well, one of the sort of middle range models carrying around a dagger. And you'll notice that they're in resistance 2, which makes them the lowest resistance in the game. Not great. But to be perfectly honest, the reason that they exist is they're not really... They can be for fighting, they can be for protecting models as a bit of a last resort, but the main reason for taking the Favoured Pet is that they are fantastic for last minute objective grabs, for getting onto objective markers, picking up treasure in a treasure hunt game, and then going and hiding with it. Their smaller profile means they're actually easier to hide behind most things. Like if I was to put this one behind there, there's the possibility that someone might not even see them from certain angles that they would normally see a full-size model being stood up there. So the Favoured Pet is one of those, they're perfect for filling out the force if you have 7 points left over and you've bought all the weapons you could possibly need and you bought all the models you could possibly need, and you're sat there going, what do I spend these 7 or so points on? Favoured Pet. Literally, absolutely perfect for that. Now, in this case, I've used 2 dog models. Now, the Favoured Pet does state that it could be anything. It could be a bird, so you could do like a little crow sitting on a big perch. You could do a cat. You could do a small swarm of rats. Honestly, your imagination can go wild so long as the models existed. If you wanted it to be a trained pig, I think there is a couple of plastics and metal manufacturers out there that do an appropriate scale pig, so yeah, by all means, take one of those instead. Finally, I'll discuss the models. These are Wargames Atlantic. They come from their Dark Age Irish sprue, which I'm just going to bring in here. You'll see it's a lot of people in various states of clothing and a variety of weapons. You'll notice that the models are still on the sprue. This is quite a rare thing for me. I'm one of those people that as soon as I get models, I get them off the sprue. I try and get them built as fast as I can because I'm a huge fan of building. I'm not a huge fan of painting. These actually are models that I've painted, but normally I wouldn't really bother. Again, I like dogs so much and I had a mind in for the colour I wanted, so I just went with it, and that's what we ended up with. So to go back to the stats as well, so they have like a low damage, a low resistance. Their intelligence is not great either, but like I say, in terms of the fact that you're getting for 7 points, you're getting a small, easily hideable model, perfect for grabbing objectives. They're also good for harassing, running around the side of the board, which brings us to the last point. These models have the ability to ignore rough ground. Now, in some cases you can have terrain all over the place that's rough ground, in other games not so much, but suddenly being able to send one of these in to grab an objective in an area where your opponent would have a much harder time of getting to it, or baiting people by sitting in rough ground that it's harder for them to charge through, they do make a surprisingly useful addition. So Thank you everyone for joining us for this short video on the fighter types. The rest of these videos, this one's going to go up on regular YouTube, but the rest of them are actually going to go up on the Patreon exclusive links. So if you want to view the rest of these fighter type videos, then please subscribe to, even in this case, we're going to open up to the lower tier as well. So the Scoundrel tier, then the Novice tier, and the Local Hero tier. All three of them will get access to this. We're going to make sure that these sort of videos, so these are sort of extra videos, that little bit per month for the subscription gets you access to these extra videos, special battle reports, and we're also going to do a series of videos after we've done this, where we're going to look at weapons, and we're also going to look at the alchemist disciplines as well, to give you sort of tips and tricks on each one and how to best use them. Thank you very much for your time today, and see you next time.